This podcast contains strong language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to the Palmtop podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kyle.
And here's where we talk about our first rewatch of the cult anime show, Toradora. We're going to recap the last two episodes, introduce the next two, see how it goes. First two episodes, we met Ryuji Takasu and Taiga Isaka, who both lead very different lives. Ryuji is a, a neat freak.
Oh yeah, klepto for cleaning stuff.
Yep, kind of scary face. And he runs into Taiga, who is the Palmtop Tiger. And Taiga wrote a love letter to Ryuji's best friend Kitamura, and Ryuji found the love letter. Actually, he found the envelope that was missing the love letter.
He kind of feels sorry for her, too, because she has this moment where she breaks down and realizes she can't do anything right. I mean, she not only did she put the love letter in the wrong bag, but she also forgot to put the fucking love letter in the envelope.
Oh yeah, that's right. She put it in the wrong bag too, and So it turns out that Taiga lives next to Ryuji in the new big old apartment complex, and her parents set her up there. So while he has a loving mother, she kind of is separated from both her parents. So they kind of like bonded in a weird way, and Taiga, being the tsundere type, just kind of treats him sort of pseudo abusively, while he is very laid back and just kind of helps her out, cooks for her, whatnot. And by the end of the second episode, they kind of have a good chemistry going on where
they beat up a pole together.
Yeah. Ryuji decides to stand by Taiga as a dragon.
He basically says, let's be friends together and support each other's stupid crushes.
Social link, as you might say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we'll be watching the next two episodes. We'll be noting how much this reminds us of Persona. Just any other observations? Do you remember the next two episodes?
Yeah, I can definitely say the next one, Your Song, which is kind of like the Minarine introduction. I can definitely remember the baseball scenes like that. When I think Minarine, like that's usually what I first go to is like all of her baseball background. But for the fourth episode, I can't say I remember it too much.
Okay, Minarine, by the way, is Taiga's best friend, who Ryuji has a crush on, and Taiga uses that as kind of like a dangling key to get him to help her out. And Minarine is the manic pixie dream girl. She's eccentric, she's an athlete, she's absolutely crazy. And Kitamura is straight-laced, kind of a no-nonsense kind of guy, and we didn't really get to know them in the first two episodes. So I think these next two episodes will introduce them a little more. I remember the fourth one being the backstory on why Taiga likes Kitamura.
Oh, well, that's a good story. I am really looking forward to these two episodes because in the first two episodes, it almost seems like these characters aren't going to be that fleshed out. Like, it almost seems like you're not going to get the background, and these are just going to be like these nobody characters you'd see in most other animes, but that is so wrong.
Together.
Do what?
Do you want to howdy together? do you want to do it? I think we should do it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Howdy!
I have my arms stretched out too.
All right, we're back from watching episodes 3 and 4, which I like to call the Crushes arc.
Oh yeah.
So what did you think coming back to this after like almost a decade?
Oh man, these episodes are so all right. There's a lot of scenes I forgot, but as soon as they started happening, they're like the crux of where I hold some of these characters. Like I said before, when I think Minarine, I think of like the baseball stuff, but I completely forgot about them being trapped in the shed. Like that is like the Minarine moment of like, hey, this is why I am the way that I am.
Absolutely. So if you're watching this without the episode, which I don't recommend, go check it out. Basically, we learned more about Minarine in episode 3 and Kitamura in episode 4, and Minarine is working about 4 or 5 jobs. The scene in the wine cellar with Minarine, just it you it's so interesting to see like a goofball character that doesn't, when they have a like revealing moment where it's like, hey, so you're kind of scared, she doesn't let down the persona, but it also isn't avoiding the subject.
Right. And you can really see, like, I don't want to say the maturity of the character, but almost the commitment to be the way that you are. And
her worldview, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really interesting when you put that up to a character like Ryuji, who, like, he's not as vocal, but like he's at home cooking every meal. He's trying just as hard as he can, and he's like, he may not be was it grind? What was her phrase?
What was it? Wait,
just
what
grind
phrase?
it out, or
just grind. No. Fight on.
Oh yeah, no, but like she's also grinding the curbs.
Oh yeah, grinding the curbs.
Yeah, he's working just as hard as her, but he's supporting his family and like Taiga.
Every character has like some sort of venerable position they do, and then it's when they don't agree or they don't see eye to eye that it like comes out, like their like flaws come out. And leave it to this show, leave it to Toradora to kind of show flaws and make them so endearing. Like I loved the line when Minarine gets hit by a box and her nose starts bleeding, and she goes, "A nosebleed just means your heart's sweating." And it's just that optimistic view of someone who's just like a living battery and just able to take pain and just turn it around. That line comes back later. I remember the line later. I didn't remember this part, but just the character's growth and pure go-getter attitude she has is just something to revere and respect.
Definitely.
For 1 and 2, I think are near perfect episodes. 3, while it had a great ending, it had some budget problems.
Oh yeah, right in the beginning, you could definitely see the B team is in full effect here on the animation side.
You would get the cockatiel as like a computer generated cockatiel.
Yeah, that happens a lot in this one.
I'll be honest. I think the one blight on the show is Inko the cockatiel.
Well,
or the parakeet.
I mean, we can disagree about that because I love Inko.
I think it's hard because I think that character, that joke where Inko cannot say his or her name, but will say a completely different phrase that probably sounds like Inko in Japanese.
It's Unko. Unko means poop.
Okay, so Inko keeps going, yeah, I crapped.
Yep.
Or...
Well, I mean, that's a really hard translation issue.
It works in the end of the 4th episode when she goes, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, I remember that from last time I watched it. I'm just feeling like, okay, now we're just getting ridiculous with it, and I'm fine with this. One thing I do want to say about this episode, though, really interesting seeing it paired up with 4, just seeing how Taiga acts. Like, all of episode 3, Taiga is just on Ryuji's case nonstop. Holy crap, I'm gonna gouge your eyes out because you're being a shit.
And then in 4,
oh my god, in 4, the glove is on the other hand, the shoe's on the other foot. Like, she's being like this ridiculously gushing girl about like Kinemura, but Ryuji's just like, yeah, that's you.
Yeah, you got to see both sides. You got to see both characters with their crush and how they handled it, and both of them are perfect embodiments of how their personality would crush after someone. Ryuji is just like, it's almost like benevolent sexism, where he's just like, he wants to help her out, give her his jacket, but he can't look her in the eye, and he like reveres her, he puts her on a pedestal, and then Taiga just gets uncomfortable around him and just starts attacking anyone close to him.
Oh yeah. So I guess we'll transition into 4. Back to what we were saying of how they act. The scene where they all sit down to lunch together is just amazing because they rely on each other to be like, all right, you need to be the sane one while I'm this gushy mess.
Yeah.
And they're both gushy messes.
Oh yeah, the A plot is Taiga wants Ryuji to take a photo of Kitamura because every time she sees him, tries to take a photo for herself, their hands get a little shaky and the photo is barely recognizable. So that's pretty much the main plot. But little side moments with B plots, as Ryuji trying to get a photo of Minarine, it just ends up in a moment where he's making lunch for Taiga, he's taking care of her, he's trying to understand her while he cooks for her every day, and Kitamura and Minarine sit down with him, and they have to hide the fact that they both have the same lunch, and it's just the fact they can't communicate that is super funny, and the Taiga becomes just that Mo blob, it just becomes a big melty mess.
Oh yeah.
Can we bring up my favorite part of that episode? Pseudobucks.
Oh, Pseudobucks.
Pseudobucks, the best coffee place.
Pseudobucks, Whack Donald's, Burger Emperor, like, Jesus.
Oh, they're all great. Was Burger Emperor in this show?
No, I think I made that one up. I know Whack Donald's, though.
Pseudobucks has the honor of having the best dub line, which is Ryuji looking at the coffee and going, I can't believe they haven't gotten sued yet.
You can tell the dub cast had a lot of fun.
The dub director did Haruhi Suzumiya and Kill la Kill before this, so those have a lot of like improv lines, a lot of like thrown in jokes and whatnot, and it's just very clear that they would get away with a lot. Like, and even the script then, even if it's not improv, the script is solid. Like the awkward Taiga lines when Kitamura picks her up by the armpits and she says that it was an armpit carnival.
Yeah, her and carnivals. She says the word carnival twice in
Like
episode
twice
4.
or thrice.
She's like, I don't know. She must really like carnivals. If we're covering more into 4, though, we missed a big part where Kitamura admits that he once admitted his love for Taiga. He
admitted his love for Taiga in what might be the most shonen proposal of love I've ever seen.
Dearest maiden.
Yeah, it's just in shadow, his glasses reflecting dramatically, and it's the voice of Lelouch, and it's super funny.
I love how like we talk about his face for the next like 5 minutes after that scene, and we didn't even get to see his face.
No, it's Kitamura is such an interesting character because like he is so strangely real in how he interacts with people right now. And then time goes on and he's not. But when you start out and you barely see him, it's almost like you don't really get a glimpse into him.
It's almost like a 28-year-old has just been thrown into high school and he's like, haha, crushes, right? Oh, yeah, she has pictures of me? Yeah, cool, look, see, I used to have one. Oh, man, this stuff is nuts, right, guys? Right? I'm normal. I'm not compensating for anything. Ha, 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 ha.
You want to talk about it?
Wait till episode, 8, I think.
I liked that Minarine just interrupts the end of the episode to bring up that she made a bucket of pudding.
Yeah, I mean,
with the quick one-liner, a bucket of pudding is every girl's ultimate desire.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of Minarine I don't particularly like.
It was a bit of a weird moment.
The random is a bit strong.
It can be argued random, but like there is some sort of like algorithm to
you could say
events.
It's a plus, but also a minus.
Ugh. Ooh. Whatever, it's cool.
So there is one thing I did want to talk about this episode. So, I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about I'm going to basically go into spoilers, but I think we're all comfortable with spoilers.
So we're going to go into a bit of the future based on what we remember.
Right. I don't think you could believe it, but I completely forgot where this show ends up while watching episode 3. Because you just want to root for them in these relationships so much. It's yeah, you just want this to work. When, they're going to end up together. I mean, Taiga and Ryuji. But, ask me at episode 10 or, 12 or wherever the fuck it is. I'll be yeah, I totally want that to happen. Taiga and Ryuji all the way. But now it's just man, why can't it work out like this? Why can't Taiga get, Kitamura? And why can't Ryuji just get Minarine already?
And that's great because this show kind of shows that sometimes things will just come into play and right now it seems like like Minarine and Ryuji would work well together, and you were absolutely rooting for them together. But then life takes a turn.
Yep.
And what I noticed watching this again were a lot of details, like the way Minarine looks at Ryuji in the beginning of episode 3 is a very clear sign of her agenda and her actual feelings later on.
Oh. I just remembered everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot about all that. But I'm not going
Yeah.
to say it because I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong. But
What? No, don't tell me. But
yeah,
the way she looks at Ryuji, you were like, that's weird. And I'm like, is it?
I should also say to our listeners, I don't remember this series like one for one. It's very, like I said in the beginning, like it's been a decade. Like I don't remember the ins and outs of the relationships, just like bits and pieces here and there. Especially in a show so complex as this, where like the in-character relationships switch so much. It's so hard to remember, and like I don't remember like things bit by bit, which kind of makes this interesting for me.
It's a lot more in depth than you want to give it credit for.
Oh, definitely.
I enjoyed the fact that I watched it a year ago, have a lot of fond memories of it, but there's a lot of parts that I'm like blanking or forgetting because I remember the big rises and the big peaks in the story and some of the jokes, and then I forget some little details.
I'm looking forward to 5 and 6.
5 and 6 are coming up, and they introduce my personal favorite character, which is
Ami.
Ami, I can't remember her last name.
Ami blue hair bitch.
Ami blue hair.
You can call her a
I'm
bitch.
totally not looking it up.
She is definitely a bitch once in a while.
So, it's funny you say that. I don't agree with you.
Really?
I think Ami Kawashima is the most realistic character in the show. I think she is like I will compliment Ryuji. I'll compliment Taiga how they handle that hot water, cold water character.
You can't just say Ami does not say things just to get people mad.
She does, but I think it's
that's
so
what bitches do.
Now I don't agree because I don't think that's a good word.
All right. We gotta remember this for the other episodes.
Okay,
we need a bitchiness meter.
I'm interested because my memory, like I'm sure Ami's going to say some stuff and I'm going to back off. But what I remembered of her character was that even more than Kitamura, she's the one that knows her place.
Oh yeah,
and she's the one that is aware of the relationships and what needs to happen and what she wants and what can't happen.
It's weird because I really don't remember too much about her except very chance times where I'm like, oh my god, I hate you so much right now. But
I'm
like
excited.
It was because I knew she was right.
Yeah, she's also the total rival character. She is
right.
the Virgil to the Dante.
Oh my god, she's such a Virgil.
Yep.
I hope
might as well
no one knows what this means.
No one knows. All right, so next time we are going to do the Ami arcs, which are episodes 5 and 6.
See you next game.
Ugh.
Thank you to Eddie Gomez for our theme music and Phil Vasquez for our cover art.
Do you guys want to hear some more? Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload an episode.
Also, check out other shows on Kitchen Bed Media. We have 102 Cast, we have Chai Guys, and we have a few more things coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, what could it be? Guys, we are also on Twitter. Check us out. Palmtop Podcast. Throw it in that search bar. You'll find us.
Hey, Kyle, quick best girl.
Best girl? Easy. Sanjo Gahara.
What?
Spell that.
CTS.